This is the 2023 Chrysler 300C, and this isn't the 5.7-litre V8 with just 363 horsepower that's available on the 300S Touring. No, this is the full-fat farewell offering with the 392 cubic inch Hemi under the hood. Only 2,000 300C models will be produced for the 23 model year. After that, the 300 as we know it is done, as is the Hemi. So today, I'm going to test it and see how good it is. So Chrysler introduced the SRT8 model in 2011 and discontinued it in 2015. That car had a 6.1-litre Hemi engine with 425 horsepower. This one has a little bit more power and is the successor to that car. So for 2023, the Chrysler 300C is powered by a 6.4-litre Hemi engine, 495 horsepower, 475 foot-pounds of torque driven through a Chrysler Torque Flight 8-speed automatic transmission. It's good for 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds, the quarter mile in 12.4, and onto a top speed of around 160 miles per hour. So the C differentiates itself with this tricolor badge right here in the front grille and lots of chrome or dark chrome accents around the body. It comes in three colors. This particular one is velvet red, there's a black, and there's also a white one. So unique to the 300C are these dark gray 20-inch wheels. They're wearing these Goodyear all-season 245/45 tires. Brembo brakes, these are 6-piston. The calipers are painted red. At the back you get a limited slip differential to help manage all of that power. You also get an adaptive suspension. Should these tires be a little wider? Hell yes. As you'll see later in the video, there's lots of tire squealing. Inside you get these black Laguna leather seats with embossed logos, silver stitching, some carbon fiber here and there, and a Harman Kardon 19-speaker audio system. At the back you get an active exhaust system with these black rounded tips on either side. Let's start it up and see what it sounds like. Two pieces of good news. It's really loud, it sounds really good, and there's no soft limiter. At the back you get about 16.4 cubic feet of space. There is no spare wheel, and you can put the seats down for even more space. So the good news is it's not that expensive. Its base price is $55,000, and out the door including destination you'll pay $56,595. The bad news is all 2,000 are already sold. Well, these have to be some of the nicest, most comfortable back seats that I've ever sat in. I got plenty of leg room. I've got an okay amount of headroom. I also get my own heated seats, 2 lots of power, and my own vents. And then they're also covered in really soft, really nice leather, a nice couple of cup holders as well in the back. I could travel in here for quite some distance. The same goes for the front. These seats are so comfortable. They're not like super hard like the German ones. Plenty of bolstering for both legs and this section right here. Really nice steering wheel. Everything covered in leather. Couple of things that I don't like. These cup holders are kind of small. My bottle happens to fit. And then unfortunately there isn't really anywhere to put your phone. You can sort of hide it in there, but it doesn't quite close. And then even my phone, which is not exactly the most modern phone, won't fit in there. And then this little slot right here doesn't fit a phone either. Probably it would fit one from 2011. So really you have to put your phone in there if you want it to stay safe. So all 300s get this fairly small screen, but it is powered by Uconnect, which is great. You can go from media to climate. You've got controls for heated and vented seats that both the driver and passenger get. There's also a heated wheel and a mirror dimmer. You've also got apps, navigation, phone, and then you can dive into more settings right there. Immediately below that are your physical buttons that control both HVAC, volume, and tuning, which is great. These are the controls I like because you've got lane assist off, park assist on or off, traction control off or on, and then your drive modes. So if you click on drive modes, you've got auto, which the system just basically does its own thing. Custom, you can change transmission, paddle shifters, traction, suspension, and steering. They're all on track right now, except for traction, which we need more traction on the road, especially with these tires. Sport loosens up the traction control a little bit. Track loosens it up a lot. And then launch control in the middle here, you can choose between a minimum of 1200 and a maximum of 3300 revs to do a launch. It honestly doesn't matter. This car spins its wheels into oblivion regardless of what you choose right there. Never been a big fan of the rotary controller. It's supposedly to save space, but I don't like it, and a shifter would fit here, particularly as this thing is pretty useless. It doesn't fit any of our modern phones. At the front you get this space, you can put your phone in there, and then a 12 volt in the back. Underneath this cover you get 2 cup holders, and this nifty feature here which allows you to basically either keep your drink cold or make your drink hot. Underneath the armrest you get this removable sort of coin and bits tray, another 12 volt, 2 USBs, and an old school aux. Ahead of the driver you get these cool blue graphics. You can switch between, I have the speedo in the middle, but you can play around, you can look at your tire pressures, you can look at your top speed. Ooh, someone's been driving fast. And adaptive cruise, 19 average. It's pretty good because the Lexus RCF that I just drove, I gave that back and it had done 15.3. And then some ancillary information here. So let's just put this back here. And then you've got 2 analog dials on the left and on the right. Okay, so now all we need to do is take it for a drive. All right. It's properly quick, I must admit. But it is quite a large sedan, and it's quite a heavy sedan, and it's rear-wheel drive, and it's got quite skinny tires on, and we're in sport mode, so the traction control is a little looser than it normally would be, but it's dry, which is a good thing, and I already warmed the tires up. And that Hemi sounds great. So it does ride a little harder. You can definitely feel a few more bumps under the tires, but genuinely quite smooth. Okay, hard on the brakes. Doesn't roll too much either. This adaptive suspension does pretty well. Now there's some mid-corner bumps here that you've got to hold on tight. I mean, this is quite an old chassis, you know, for when Mercedes or Daimler Benz owned Chrysler back in the day. It was borrowed from them, and Stellantis, as we should call them now, has done a really good job in making this thing hustle quite well. I do like the fact that this car has quite a lot of torque too, 475 foot-pounds, and it's naturally aspirated, so the power is just almost always there. Also have to make note that these seats, despite the slightly harder suspension setting that we're in, are very comfortable, and they hold you and grip you very well. All right, little straight bit here. Wow. So I just went past the speed limiter that I set for myself. It doesn't beat very loud, so. This is genuinely fun for a large sedan. particularly aerodynamic car. It is shaped much like a brick. Bounces a little bit on some of these undulations on this road. Steering is heavy. It's on the heavy side, and doesn't have a whole lot of feel to it. But of the 2,000 people that bought this car or are going to take delivery of this car, I don't think they're going to be taking it on these kind of roads. I feel this is more of a cruiser on the freeway. You can pass anyone that you need to. It's kind of stealthy. It doesn't look like it's going to go as fast as it does. It doesn't shout speed. So you've definitely got to do some slow in, fast outs, because this chassis does not want to be going in too fast. But it's an awful lot of fun to drive. Traction control kicked in there. Despite it being turned down a notch in sport mode, traction control is still there, which is a good thing. Because what we don't want to do is end up with the back end of this car in a ditch. I must say, it definitely does need bigger tires. 20 inches is fine, but it definitely needs wider tires. Although not too wide, because it is fun to drive. The last Scat Pack Challenger that I drove was the wide body, and that one just felt like it had too much tire for the car. Wasn't as fun as the non-wide body one. Now the Hellcat, on the other hand, that's a lot better with the wide body because it just desperately needs grip. And for this one, Chrysler's decided, well, this one is going to be a Smoky Burnouts car. So I keep saying that this car doesn't have enough rubber on its wheels, and that's absolutely true. So let's say, for example, my wife says, hey, can you go down and get us some milk? All right, let's go down and get some milk. I went down to get some milk, got back home, my wife says, damn it, we need bread. Okay. Alright, so we've pulled off onto this slightly more broken road here. Have a little fun because there's not too much traffic here. I'm impressed with how well it handles for a really large sedan, though. Yeah, it's definitely not the most modern chassis of any car, but it's definitely getting the job done. That Hemi is just gorgeous. Yeah, so it won't carry the kind of speed in the turns that a Lexus RCF or an M4 and like that. It's not meant to be competing with those kind of cars. But you can definitely have some fun, and it's a grin fest, this thing. You've just got to make sure that you're hanging onto the wheel and you're aware that this is quite a big car and a heavy one. Then you're rewarded with that. So despite its age, you have to love what Chrysler has done with this car as a last iteration, as a farewell tour. It's a hard-charging, rubber-melting, tire-roasting piece of out-and-out Detroit muscle, wrapped in a large sedan suit, and I absolutely love it. Once again, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time with another video. Out.